toxic masculinity.
YouTube plans to experiment with selectively hiding dislikes. Oh, now they're gonna switch all of my dislikes on White House to likes?
Not exactly.
Well,
No,
they
no, no.
already.
What they're going to do is they're going to just hide the dislikes. Yeah. So did you notice that? Did you notice that for a while they were just deleting dislikes?
Now they're just gonna hide dislikes.
Now all dislikes are just going to be hidden because they're being accused of deleting dislikes, which they are doing actually. People have proof. Like people have a photo of like, the White House video.
Yes.
It shows 100,000 dislikes and then suddenly it's 20,000 dislikes and you're like, what the hell just happened? Okay, it's probably
I
not
think
100,000.
people, Chris, you don't understand. People watch the interviews until the end, and they then decided to switch their dislikes to likes.
Oh, is that what happened? They had it at
It happens
dislike.
to me every time, darling.
You're
Every
watching.
time.
You're watching a Biden video. You instantly dislike it.
Yes.
Then you watch the way through, and you're like, "He's so great. I'm going to change that to a like." That's what you do. Somehow I don't believe you. Somehow I don't believe you. So now it's actually I caught wind of this story from a YouTube channel that I watch called Clownfish TV, and they do a lot of stuff on pop culture stuff. They're like big fans of Disneyland. They love Disneyland stuff and Disney stuff. They like pop culture. They love Star Wars, all that kind of crap. But they are fairly rational people, and so they're seeing all this SJW woke garbage coming out of Disney, and they kind of hate Disney now, right? They're people who grew up loving Disney. They're big fans of Disney. Their whole show used to be like pro Disney and stuff, and then now it's becoming all woke. Their show's kind of, I wouldn't say anti-Disney, but it's definitely like critical. And what they noticed is that on all the Disney stuff, you'll find that on YouTube, if you go to like, okay, let me look, maybe I can bring it up here. If you go to the YouTube Star Wars channel, yeah, let's see here. If you go to the Star Wars channel on YouTube, here we go, Star Wars. Okay. So let me go ahead and open up the, you guys can have a look here. So if you look at this, for instance, 50,000 views, a step into the dark art of the High Republic and more. This High Republic thing is something that Kathleen Kennedy's doing. And if you click on that, we see that they've got 2,000 likes and 9,000 dislikes. Kind of unbelievable, right? And that's true like across the board. There's just a ton of these videos where it's ridiculous. Like, and then Kathleen Kennedy I think she was at the Oscars or something like that, and she did a speech at the Oscars, and all these Star Wars fans went on and they disliked all of the Kathleen Kennedy. They disliked that video massively. There was a huge flood of dislikes and very few likes, and so Star Wars stuff is just getting bombarded by all these dislikes, unless it's something about Mandalorian or something that's created by Jon Favreau or Filoni, Dave Filoni. Anything that they produce, because the fans really love that stuff, it's liked more than it's disliked. But all the stuff by Kathleen Kennedy, and it's especially because of the Gina Carano stuff. People started to get really engaged after Gina Carano was fired. They were pissed off at Disney. They started to make their displeasure known by going in and disliking all the videos on Star Wars. They don't just ignore it, they go and they actively dislike it. Now, that's a hell of a lot nicer than a lot of the stuff the woke mob does on Twitter, where they try to get you fired and they do all this stuff. Going in and just hitting the dislike button on a video, that doesn't really hurt anyone. I mean,
No.
maybe it hurts their fragile left-wing feelings, but it doesn't actually. It just shows our displeasure. It shows that this is not a popular thing that you're doing. Stop doing it. The comment section maybe get a little vicious.
But, well, White House already deleted comment section. You can't comment on their
Exactly.
videos.
Well, so the point I'm trying to make here is that I'm not sure that this channel that I was watching is right, because what they were saying was that they believe that the reason that YouTube is doing this is because is at least in part because of Disney. Their thought was that it was primarily because of Disney, or that's kind of the sense that I got from the video that they produced. I'm not sure that's true. I think that it probably has something to do with Disney for sure, and this and people showing their displeasure by hitting the dislike button. But I also think that it has to do with the Biden White House, because every time, and let's see if we can't find that actually. If we go to Oh no, look at all, I don't know what all that is. That's some gross stuff we're looking at. White House. Let's go to the White House website and let's see. Uh-oh, that's not good. Nobody wants to look at her. All right, let's see here. So this one has 157 likes, 3,000 dislikes. 3,000 dislikes. That's crazy. Of course, the comments are off. Let's go to the next video. 262 likes, 2,700 dislikes. That's insane.
Open like Biden's speech or press conference or something like important.
Okay, well, this is Biden signs the Paycheck Protection Act thing. Let's see here. 449 likes to 4,400 dislikes.
What about what is like most views?
Viewed?
Views.
Okay, well, let's have a look. Sort by most popular.
Of course, it's inauguration.
Let's go to the inauguration.
Oops.
16,000 likes. That's actually pretty good. 16,000 likes. Impressive. 100,000 dislikes. What? 100,000. Holy crap. That is insane. So yeah, so I think maybe it has something to do with Disney, but I think maybe it has something to do with Biden as well. I think probably it has more to do with Biden than it has to do with Disney. But I don't know. Maybe Disney went in and petitioned YouTube and said, look, you got to do something about this. And their answer to it was, well, we can't stop people from disliking videos. So you know what we'll do is we'll just hide the dislikes. You can dislike a video, but it won't show the number. It'll only show the number of likes. Which is just such a, I mean, we're just getting into an era, guys, where it's just everything's becoming ridiculously 1984. I mean, we're living in 1984. People who don't know about the book will think I'm crazy. They'll be like, it's 2021, Mr. Reagan. Hello. But yeah, no, the novel, the dystopian novel, 1984, we live in that time now. It's so weird. As a kid, I always thought that was totally like fantasy, like science fiction. Like we'd never live in an era like that. America would never become like that. We have totally become like that. It's astonishing. I mean, we're not quite there to where they're spying on us every single second of the day, but they have the capacity to. We have Alexa. Never mind. She shut off. Okay. Let's see here. YouTube will try hiding video dislike counts from some users. So this is sort of like a beta test type thing where they're just going to do it with a few users. I wonder who those users might be, Valeria. Might it be Disney and the White House? I think it might. The company says it's a small experiment that will start in the next few weeks. Over the next few weeks, YouTube plans to test several new interface designs that won't publicly display how many dislikes a video has earned. In the design the company showed off, the dislike button is still there for people to tap, but it doesn't have a count that's updated in real time. According to YouTube, content creators will still see the information through YouTube Studio. So you can still be depressed by the number of people who hate you, but the rest of the world can't see it. Let's see here. In response to creator feedback around well-being and targeted dislike campaigns, we're testing a few designs that don't show public dislike count. If you're part of this small experiment, you might spot one of these designs in the coming weeks. Example below. No,
in your case, it's going to be just the dislike
just the
button.
dislikes. I don't get that many dislikes. I get my like to dislike ratio is approximately, I think it's something like 99.7 or something like that. 99.7% likes and 0.3% dislikes. And the reason for that is that YouTube doesn't show my videos to anyone who isn't subscribed to my channel, which really messes up my view counts. Like my view counts have dropped to about a third of what they used to be on average, but they don't actually vary. So I don't really get a huge variation on my counts. My counts are almost all about 25 to 30,000 views every single video. A few of them are a little bit lower, and a few of them are like slightly higher, but they're almost all about 25 to 30,000 views now because they don't show them to anyone outside. So if my video does particularly well, like a lot of people are clicking it very quickly, a lot of people really like the video, it'll just get to the point where I have total saturation of all my subscribers that want to see it, and then it'll just stop showing the videos to anyone. So if like if my subscribers are slow to click, that means the video isn't doing as well. It might take longer to get to 25,000 or something like that. But if they're really quick to click and I get to 25,000 really quickly, that should indicate that it's a popular video and they should show it to more people. YouTube just doesn't show it to anybody else. They just go, oh, those people liked it, fine, done. That's all you get to. That's the only people that get to see it because they're the only ones subscribed. So I have a cap of the amount of people who are even able to see my videos. Anyway, so let's keep reading. The company says the test follows feedback from content creators. The only content creators it's following feedback from are like Disney and the Biden administration. That's it. It's probably not even both. It's probably like one of them. We're just seeing this phenomenon occur in these two instances. On well-being and dislike campaigns. Well-being. It hurts our well-being. My poor soul is hurt by the number of people that don't like me. Well, maybe that's an indication you should change your behavior. If like hundreds of thousands of people hate you, maybe you should change things up. And granted, that was also true about Trump. But that may have been because the mainstream media was lying about him every second of the day. That could have had something to do with it as well. There's not much you can change about yourself if people are just lying about you blatantly every single day, all day. Let's see here. But they note that people will still be able to use the dislike button and share feedback as well shape their shape their recommendations. What to do with the dislike button is something YouTube has been thinking about since at least 2018. That's the year its annual rewind feature became the most disliked video on the platform. 1 year later, the company floated the idea of... So they had a video that they made themselves that was disliked massively. And then they were like, oh, that's not very nice. That makes us feel bad. We don't like feeling bad. What are we going to do about this? Well, let's just remove the dislike feature. They disliked us, those bastards. We're just gonna remove the dislike feature. They're like a spoiled child. They're like a spoiled YouTube leftists are all like spoiled children. If they don't like something, they just change it. I don't like. I'm taking that away from you. You're not allowed to use that anymore. You didn't use it nicely. It's like, yeah, people don't like what you're doing. Because you have a perspective of reality that is delusional. All right, let's see here. 1 year later, the company floated the idea of trying things like turning off rating counts by default and removing the button altogether to prevent a mob of people from bombing a video. Now, see, here's the thing about the bombing, the terminology they're using here. I don't know how many people are like, because here's the thing. The left will have these organized attacks where, leftists will have certain groups, right? They'll have groups on Reddit, or they'll all be following some massively influential person on Twitter, something like that. And the suggestion will be made, we should all do this. And then they all say, oh yeah, let's get on board with that. And then there's like a campaign, like firing Gina Carano, I think was coordinated to some degree. And maybe not. Maybe it was an organic effort by leftists. I'm not sure. But what I do know is that on the right, we don't do that. On the right, we don't have organized campaigns like that. The left thinks that we do, and that's why they try to justify this kind of totalitarian nonsense. Is they say, this is a coordinated effort to target certain people. It's never coordinated. I've never seen an effort from conservatives against leftists that was a coordinated effort to try to hurt them. Mm-hmm. It's always an organic thing that happens, right? So, for instance, disliking White House videos. Do you dislike White House videos, Valeria, because somebody told you to dislike White House videos?
No.
Are you following somebody who was like, this is a good idea, guys, let's all dislike White House videos?
No, that was my idea.
Yeah.
That's why my first viral tweet on Twitter was on a daily basis, I go on YouTube channel just to dislike White House videos. That's went viral.
You said that to me, And I said, you need to tweet that out. If you tweet that out, I'll retweet you. You tweeted it out. I retweeted you. I think Elijah retweeted me. And then you got something like 20,000. No, you got more than that. How many did you get? You got like a gazillion likes on that video, on that.
I don't know.
On that tweet.
But
that blew up your Twitter. You're still not like Twitter famous yet.
No.
But you did get quite a few followers after that. Because she just said to me one day, she was like, I go on the White House YouTube channel every single day and dislike whatever videos they posted.
15,000 likes.
15,000 likes, right?
Yeah.
Which for somebody with an account, you had like what, 200 followers or something at the time.
Yeah,
that was a pretty big deal. Valeria was like checking it every couple minutes, being like, "Oh my gosh, it's 7,000! Oh my gosh, it's 8,000!" It was pretty crazy. It was quite a bit of fun. But anyway, yeah, and that was just something that she was doing. She just didn't like Biden. She didn't like the videos they were posting, and so she started to dislike it. And this is something that people, believe it or not, leftists, sometimes us conservatives think about doing things independently, right?
Yeah.
We think about doing things independently, and we're not following anybody. There is this concept of like parallel thought, where different people have the same thought at the same time. And the reason that this kind of thing occurs,
it's like you and Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, me and Tucker Carlson will oftentimes push the same videos, and they're not always videos that are new, that are like topical. They're not something that like came up in the news. It was just something that I had been researching and something the Tucker people had been researching. I know sometimes they watch my show and they take my stuff, which is fine, which is totally fine. I love that, actually. But sometimes I've produced a video. I'm not joking. I'll have produced a video, and then just before I put it out, Tucker will do a report on it, and it'll always be better because Tucker's guys are amazing. And I'm just like, damn it, Tucker, you beat me to it. So, yeah. I know that they take some of the stuff from my videos for specific reasons that I won't get into, but yeah, a lot of it's just parallel thought. And actually, you get this through time, is you get inventors that kind of like invent the same thing at the same time. You'll have the same thing invented at the same time. It's because all the converging technologies that are needed to make that thing all developed at the same time, and different scientists from different areas are like, oh, all these things add up to X, and they all come up with the same idea at the same time. So that happens historically, and also just when you're looking at what goes on in the world, right? What's happening in the world, we're all kind of observing similar stuff, and so people who are paying attention will often come to the same conclusions. And something as simple as a lot of us think that the election was doctored might be so irate at Biden that every time a video is posted, we might go on his YouTube channel and we might dislike the video. And that has nothing to do with coordinated effort, but that's what the left thinks. And so they justify these kind of radical actions, these authoritarian actions, by saying that we're coordinated when we're not. We're just thinking, just parallel thought, guys, just parallel thought. The term isn't parallel thought, it's something else. In the comment section, you could tell me, people smarter than me who remember stuff. I have a terrible memory. All right. Okay.
What is my Twitter? People asking.
Oh, what is your Twitter? Your Twitter is Mrs. Reagan.
Mrs. Reagan USA.
Oh yeah, Mrs. Reagan. Sorry.
MRS Reagan USA.
People know what Mrs. If you don't know how to spell Mrs., ladies and gentlemen, it's MRS.
I would write actually like
MISSUS or something.
Yes.
Yeah. Miss Reagan, obviously, REAGAN. USA.
US, yeah, like United States of America.
Yeah, so yeah, go ahead and follow her on Twitter, Mrs. Reagan USA. She's a firecracker, guys. She says some funny stuff, actually.
I stopped doing Twitter for I don't know why.
You have stopped, actually. Yeah, I used to retweet your stuff all the time. I haven't done Twitter in a while either. Oh shoot, I was supposed to sign a contract with somebody dealing with like social media stuff. I completely forgot. Why did they write me? I'm gonna write it.
Well, I just got email from our taxes that we need to provide so much things.
Oh, we have more stuff that we need? Okay, all right, we'll work on it. Taxes, guys. If you haven't done them, get them done. We've been working on them for about like a week or two now.
2 weeks, and it's still not done.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, guys. We're gonna move on to the next story.
Okay, man who attacked Asian woman was on parole for killing his mom.
No, he wasn't on peril. He was on parole.
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 Parole. Okay.
Parole. Yeah, this is a disturbing story. So, oh, sorry, I'm not on the right thing. There we go. Toxic Masculinity. Weekdays, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific.